Hi there, my name's Simon Drew, and welcome to the Practical Stoic Podcast, where I give you practical Stoic advice for modern times. You can support the show by going to patreon.com/Simon Drew. I also do one-on-one mindset coaching, and you can book in your first free consultation by going to risetothegoodlife.com/coaching. On Facebook, you can join my group, the Practical Stoic Mastermind. But for now, enjoy this episode. Hi there, my name's Simon Drew, and welcome to another episode of the Practical Stoic Podcast. We've spent some time previously on this show discussing willpower and discipline, and how or what to think before you make a particular choice. The Stoics offered many wonderful insights when it came to making the best possible decisions, and today I wanted to share one of those insights with you. Because we all have moments in our days where we have to make choices, and to choose one way would be clearly wrong, while to choose the other way would be clearly right. But how many times do we all give in to our lesser selves and go with the choice that is clearly leading down a negative path? We choose the Snickers bar over the apple. We choose to spend that money that we promised we would save. And we even make worse decisions that lead only to the degradation of our soul. You know, I think one of the main reasons why we make these choices, despite how wrong they may be, is because we don't see immediate negative effects. One single purchase doesn't break the bank, but 100 small purchases over a month will absolutely lower your savings. One lunchtime pastry snack won't be so bad, but if you eat that every single day for a year, then you'll definitely see the poor results in your health. But you know, there's a sad part of the human condition that leads us to constantly believe that because we don't see the effects immediately, there mustn't be any. But even though we all do this, if we were to just think rationally for a moment, we would recognize that every decision, no matter how big or small, will lead us in one direction, good or bad. And this is where I want to bring Epictetus in, because what he says will hopefully inspire you and I to instill a bit more reason into our decision-making process. He said, quote, "Let your reason be supreme. Instill the habit of deliberation. Practice the art of testing whether particular things are actually good or not. Learn to wait and assess instead of always reacting from untrained instinct. Spontaneity is not a virtue in and of itself. If some pleasure is promised to you, and it seductively calls to you, step back and give yourself some time before mindlessly jumping at it. Dispassionately turn the matter over in your mind. Will this pleasure bring but a momentary delight, or real, lasting satisfaction? It makes a difference in the quality of our life and in the kind of person we become, when we learn how to distinguish between cheap thrills and meaningful, lasting rewards. If, in calmly considering this pleasure, you realize that if you indulge in it, you will regret it, abstain and rejoice in your forbearance. Rejoice in the triumph of your character, and you will be strengthened." End quote. You know, in my opinion, this is one of the most powerful passages in all of Stoic literature, because it deals with an issue that we all face. All of us at one time or another have made a choice that we knew was wrong, and that we knew was only going to provide us with a cheap thrill. And then we did it again and again and again. We've all struggled at times to have the willpower to make the better choice. But in this passage, Epictetus offers us an eloquent solution, one which is simple and yet extremely effective if practiced over time. And I'd like to break this process down into 3 sections or steps so that you've got the perfect plan of attack the next time you've got a choice to make. The first step, straight from the passage I just read, is to wait and assess instead of always reacting from untrained instinct. Don't trust your immediate impulses and reactions. These kinds of decisions are rarely the best to make. And it's helpful when you have a choice to simply step back and call upon your rational mind to assess the situation and to make the right decision. Of course, there will be times when deciding what is right will be much easier than actually doing what is right. And that's why I want to emphasize the act of pausing and removing yourself from the situation. For example, if you know you're about to do the wrong thing, then you could maybe go for a walk or a run, call a friend or go for a drive. Whatever it takes, get yourself out of that state of mind which is drawing you into the wrong choice. If you can get out of your monkey mind and start thinking rationally, then that's a great start. The next step, once you've paused to reflect, or once you're going on a walk, is to, as Epictetus said, dispassionately turn the matter over in your mind. Will this pleasure bring but a momentary delight, or real lasting satisfaction? Take as long as you need to fully decide on the answer to that question. Look far into the future and try to picture where you might end up if you were to keep on making this choice. Again, use the gift of reason to help you to decide if this choice will be good or bad for your long-term happiness and fulfillment. Having this long-term focus will help you to see how no small decision goes unnoticed, and how everything you do will play a role in the person who you will become. Finally, the last step is this. If, in calmly considering this pleasure, you realize that if you indulge in it, you will regret it, abstain and rejoice in your forbearance. Rejoice in the triumph of your character, and you will be strengthened. That's what Epictetus said, and those incredible words really offer us an important insight. Once you've made the right decision, in the case that you do, it's so important to reward yourself by rejoicing in the fact that you've just made the best decision that you could have made. This is the self-kindness part of Stoicism coming to the forefront here. And I think that it's the most important thing to point out, because there will be times when no matter how much rationale you adopt, you still won't choose the right path. In those times, it's so important to be kind and forgiving of yourself. And when you do make the right choice, then it's equally important to celebrate that win and be proud of the ability that you now have to think over a decision and to choose what you believe is best. See, the initial pausing and reflecting is what will get you to make that correct choice. But celebrating the win is what will keep you making the best choice. And I want to say also that none of this is going to be easy, and I never said that it would be. Living a good life and making the best possible decisions is definitely a hard thing to do, but the process is simple. And if you'll repeat this process over and over again, despite whether or not you follow through with the best choices, I know that over time your mind will strengthen and you'll be a far better person for it. I hope that this process will be useful to you the next time you're face to face with a tough choice, and I encourage you to share your successes with me and the Stoic community on Facebook. I'll talk to you next time, but until then, I hope that this episode has helped you on your rise to the good life. Ciao. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Practical Stoic Podcast. I hope it's been valuable for you, and if you'd like to support the show, then you can go to patreon.com/Simon Drew. If you'd like to try mindset coaching with me, then you can book your first free consultation by going to risetothegoodlife.com/coaching. To join the community, just go to Facebook and search for the Practical Stoic Mastermind. The links to all of these places are included in the show notes, but for now, this is Simon Drew signing out.